y'all see me? Yes, y'all can see me. Hey, Tone. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to Purpose Over Pain podcast. Today, we have a great topic. I think it's going to be a good topic for us to discuss. Our topic is single, situationship, or marriage. Is it even worth it? Um, Now, I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to start doing something different with the podcast. I'm going to try to build like a what do you call it? A soundtrack. Because as y'all know, I love music. I have a song for every occasion, whatever it is. So I'm like, it would be dope if we had a soundtrack. So today's song inspiration is Summer Walker, "I'll Kill You."
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
perfect,
Because
right?
at times, we get into these situations, relationships, and things happen, and sometimes we go crazy. We go crazy. I've been there before, not necessarily going crazy, but I've been in a space where I have lost myself. And I told myself that I never want to get into that space again. So whatever that means to me and however that means to me, I have to make sure that I check my mental. So today we have some guests. We have some new and some old. Our old OG to the show is Miss Tiffany. Tiffany, you've been on what? Three? Three?
Yes.
Yep.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Love her.
Yes.
And then we got some new folks today, and I'm really, really excited. And I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Both of them have some things going on for themselves, and I definitely want to make sure that I lend this opportunity so that they can talk about that. So ladies first, and let me just say, I just met her in the studio, literally, and I was like, hey, come on. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Candace. Nice meeting you all.
Nice meeting you too. And I know you said that you had an event that you were going to be doing soon. Did you want to talk about that just a little bit?
We can certainly dabble into it. A little bit.
Okay. We'll definitely get into that. If you want to mention it just a little bit now, you can. We got
It's
time.
called Coach My Growth. It's May 13th, and it's just it's a networking opportunity for small businesses.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We can definitely link after this and exchange information so we can get that out.
Yay,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then we got the gentleman here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, my name, for those that don't know, is...
Put you closer to the mic.
Closer. All right. So my name's Darrell. To make it easier for everybody, I usually go by Real, because otherwise they call me Darnell, Darren, all kind of shit. But my name's Darrell. I'm an author, mental health advocate, and cannabis entrepreneur.
Period. So that's very interesting. You said a cannabis entrepreneur. What does that entail?
Right now I'm a licensed hemp processor, meaning that I can get bulk CBD bud or hemp, and I turn it into other shit or process it into other shit. So right here, these is my health and beauty products.
Mm-hmm.
So that's CBD infused lotion, CBD infused peppermint and tea tree body wash, and then this is a CBD infused bath soap that contains Epsom salt, essential oils, and CBD.
Oh, period. So you just get the rub down and you get the whole, it goes into you.
Do it tingle when you put it on?
Yeah. It's a nice little body high.
I like a little tingle.
Right.
I like a little tingle.
Yeah, it get warm, nice little tingle, body high. I mean, if y'all want, you can try the lotion.
Let me see.
You know, like even if you put it on your hands, like in a few minutes, you should feel a little something through your body.
Oh, Lord. Okay, now.
Peppermint oil. That's what
Feel it through your body.
Well, the shower, the body wash, it actually do got tea tree and peppermint in it. So like when you in the shower, the hot water open your pores and allow more to get through. So it don't take a lot of the shower or the body wash for you to feel it.
Oh, that's
so I
nice.
usually recommend people take a nighttime shower, get out, and then lotion up with the CBD lotion, and you probably out for the night.
All right,
I
that's
like
what's
it's not
up.
overpowering.
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely
really
not
light.
overpowering. Now, if I get to here doing like this with my
Right.
hands,
All
then
of a
y'all know
sudden,
what's
I'm,
going on.
airbender.
right. But so on to our topic. So I wrote down a little something. I'm not no poet or nothing like that. I mean, I can be because I could do whatever I want to do. But I'm feeling jaded. I'm not bitter. I'm not mad. I'm just jaded. I'm jaded by love. Is it worth it? So many people are now saying they'd rather be single because of one reason or another, but often find themselves in the same situation over and over again. Do we no longer see the value in having a partner? Do we no longer see the value of um, being with someone for the rest of our lives, loving that one person? We all have this idea about polygamy. Well, not all of us. A lot of people have this idea about polygamy, and I really don't think that that's something that a lot of people actually know what that fully means. So I also let me see, has our generation been that desensitized and hurt that we rather do this thing called life alone? What do you all think as far as the single life? And we've all lived a single life. What are the pros and cons about being single that you all know?
So I'll go with some pros because I'm very like, okay, because I do. I love being single. I do enjoy the good positive aspects of it, right? So you don't have to answer to anybody. There's nobody you have to check for that you are responsible for, that you are accountable for, So, okay, if I just want to cook for me, guess what? I'm gonna just cook for me. My kids grown. So that's my option. Or, even just I don't know, just yourself, just dealing with yourself. You don't have to, oh, wait, he don't like my clothes or he don't like my hair, just answering to yourself. So that aspect of it is definitely a pro. And that's probably the part that I enjoy, just being able to think for myself and just be free.
And don't have to worry about answering to nobody. What you think, sir?
Male point of view.
Right.
I've been both. Like, actually, I grew up real religious, so I grew up in church. So I was married at 20, but then I was separated at 26, and then finally divorced at 28. So I found myself going from the married life, not really having an experience before that, to getting out here and seeing that it ain't really shit out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't shit out here. So with that, it kind of, like, real shit, I got depressed for a little bit because it's like, I don't want to be out here. It ain't nothing out here for me. But then I eventually just learned how to love me and enjoy me. And then that allowed me to enter into relationships from a whole new perspective. Yeah. I think a lot of people who, including myself, so I don't want to talk for nobody else. I could just speak for me.
Right.
So the reason I had a bad experience with love is because I didn't really know what love was. And because I didn't know what love was, I didn't properly love myself. So I needed other people to shower me with love or validate the love that I should have had for myself. So a lot of times that's what we do. And that's why I promote self-love and finding your purpose, because then you can align with people who rock with your purpose versus you getting with somebody and down the line you find out like, damn, I done obligated myself to this person, but they really ain't got shit to do with my future. You know what I'm saying? So I've because I've had both. Single was cool, but I really tell you this, just for me and being a family man damn near most of my life, single was cool, but I would rather have a family. I would rather it's like I am accountable to somebody, but they not checking after me. I do this shit because of, just respect. Like even today with it going from 4 to 6, I'm like, hey baby, the shit changed. If we got anything going down around this time, because otherwise I'll let them know that my window was for 4 type shit. Right. So it wasn't like I did it because I was scared of being in trouble. But it's just, you never request anything that you're not first willing to give of yourself in a
Absolutely.
relationship.
Absolutely.
So, I know how I am. So I hold myself to my standards, not just holding her to my standards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, Miss Lady?
Man, oh man.
I know we talked a little bit before.
Oh, so I totally feel all y'all. Like, this is wow. I think marriage, I've been married before. Been separated now for about 3.5 years. And I married young, like he did. And we had kids younger. And so when we got married, my thought process was, we've been together this whole time. We got kids, ain't nothing changing until I changed.
Right.
And so I learned a really, really big lesson is, you do need to know who you are before you get married. And you need to, there needs to be conversation about, what about when I grow? What about when I continue to rediscover myself and the things that I want? Will you still love me then? Will you be able to adjust to those changes within me? And will you learn how to love me and love me how I need to be loved as I figure that out for me? And a lot of reasons why relationships don't work is because we have expectations on what that looks like, but that person doesn't know what that is.
Right.
And when we communicate that to them, they still don't know how to project that. And so I think that's a problem, whether you're single or in a relationship or you're married. If that person isn't willing to figure out how you want to be loved and work at loving you the way you need to be loved, then it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
It's not going to work at all.
Absolutely. And I definitely think that's one of the biggest components to today's relationships not going so well, or even when people get into, the situationships with people. I think that's one of the biggest components, because it's now you met me here and now I'm here, I'm mentally here, whether that mentally is up or down. Are you capable of taking care of me or taking care of my heart in those moments, especially in those bad moments? For me, if you come through for me in a bad moment, I'm gonna look at you a little bit more in a light than, if you're always there for me. You know what I'm saying?
Attractive.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
But I think, and then the other thing is that we really don't know how to, thinking about being single, we really don't know how to be completely single. How many of us, with myself included, we break up with somebody and then the next minute we're about to go find us somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really even haven't delved into or tried to figure out what happened with that last relationship. Because at the end of the day, if I deal with five men, there's only one common denominator, and that's me. So if there's something within those 5 men that did not work, I have to look at myself and say, okay, damn, B, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? And so us being able to just say, okay, I'm single. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not hunching nobody. I'm not giving nobody that energy, that time, and that space. It's just me, How do you guys think that we break that? That we break the want to immediately want to be with somebody.
See, okay, with me, I'm real big on soulmates.
Mm-hmm.
Right, or just, and like he touched on, the person that you align with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm real big on that, like compatibility, and do we got to click? I don't just want you because you got money. I don't just want you because you cute. I don't just want you because
Right.
we got to click. And so I think with me, like, to answer your question, I think with me for a long time, I told myself, okay, I don't want to connect with nobody unless we supposed to be in each other's space. Because I'm tired. I got tired of just giving my energy out, and I was not reciprocating what I was giving out, what I deserved, you know. And so it's like, okay, I'm tired. I'm draining myself, and my cup is not being filled, you know. So I was like, okay,
Hey,
I'm
Tan.
willing to say I love myself enough to wait on a person that aligns with me,
right?
And so I feel like that, just keeping that in the forefront, that helps with breaking out of that cycle of just, you know, messing with the same person over and over again and still not getting anything out of it,
right,
except a body, you
right,
know?
Right.
I agree. That's a heavy one.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, and I know that for me, like I, you know, once Glenn passed away, you know, I had that moment where I said, you know what, I'm, you know, because I felt like with that situation, I felt like I gave my all. You know, that was one situation where, or a relationship where, you know, that was 5 years. And in that 5 years, I learned how to pay attention to a man. I learned how to, you know, love a man and really appreciate him and not think so much about myself, you know. And like you said, you know, you cannot require something of someone that you are not willing to do. There's no way. And even now, you know, now that I'm back dating, fucking whatever you want to call it, I'm confused. But but you know, even now in that space with whoever that I deal with, it's still that I'm not going to require anything of you that I'm not willing to do. You know.
You know why it's so hard for us to just be alone?
Hmm.
We're not designed to be. We aren't. We're trying to force the loneliness or like being alone. And I understand the benefits of not having a partner and reflecting on self and taking time for ourselves and things like that. But when it comes to being in a relationship, it has to be an unselfish process.
Absolutely.
And being single requires you to be selfish. Being in relationships requires you to be able to overlook your own wants, your own desires, and put that other person's needs before your own.
Absolutely.
And so if you're not willing to do that, you'll find yourself always frustrated with the responsibility of giving back, or even just having that person's you know, wants and needs on your mind all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know? So I think that's a thing too. Like I go to the store and I'm thinking, oh, he'll like this. I'm gonna grab that. It don't matter where I'm at. I'm finna grab some food. Let me call him and see if he wants a burger or something.
Some socks. This nigga needs some socks.
Yes, you need some underwear. Like, what do you need?
Right. You know.
So I think that's what it is it comes with all of that. And if you're not ready for all of that, and the other person is, that's already a disconnect right there.
Absolutely.
Right
Absolutely.
jump, so.
Absolutely. What you got to say, sir?
As far as that, I don't see it as being like, to me, single ain't selfish. I mean, I can understand, you know, it is a selfless requirement to be in a partnership. But for me, when I was single, it allowed me to, like, I'm an advocate and proponent of shadow work, which is just going into yourself reflectively to understand what within you resonate with the people that you've attracted. So sometimes being single gives you the time to go within. If you realize a lot of your relationships was the same old bullshit,
right,
and you the common denominator, now you got to figure out what in you is drawing those people. You know, they say it's your lack that attracts. So like even with me, like I said, all I can do is use me as an example. And at one point in time, me and a lot of men that I know, I used to need to feel needed. You know, that's something a man needs to feel needed. But the thing is, universe, God, however y'all, I don't know what y'all say down here. I say universe, but they say, okay, you need to feel needed. Well, here go a motherfucker that needs you. And then now they put you together because that's what your lack was. I needed to be needed. So I would get with people who needed me, And then the thing is, like you said, situationships. I say situationships and need situationships because sometimes it could just be slipping off and fucking off. You know, slipping out and fucking off. But sometimes it could be they fucking with you because they need a ride, a shelter, whatever the fuck. So, you know, a lot of times you'll find yourself in a need relationship. And then if they grow to a level that they no longer need you, now that was the only tie that bind. So then you left out here like, oh, these motherfuckers is users. And it's like, no,
you allowed
that was the energy that you were broadcasting at the time. And shit, God felt like, oh, this is what you want, this is what you get. Or people who need to have good words said to them. But then they try to figure out why the fuck they keep getting put with a liar. Because you need to hear good words. You ain't separating.
You talking now, sir. You talking now.
So you ain't separating the fact that you really want a motherfucker that speak nice to you and do what the fuck they say. But we think, no, I want somebody to tell me how beautiful I am. Yeah, he gonna tell you how beautiful you is while he fucking your friend because that's what you wanted. How beautiful you are.
Right.
So I think sometimes we need to take that time to do the shadow work to weed out the shit that has been bringing the bullshit to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that we can stop frustrating ourselves, because that's what we really do. We get bitter at love, we get jaded and traumatized, but really we just frustrating ourselves without learning ourselves.
And that's absolutely true. You know, me and my sister, and she's watching now, we were actually talking today. Again, you know, all of it, and I said this earlier, all of my topics, it either comes from, you know, real life experiences. Me and my sister, we talk every single day. So these are things that we talk about every single day. So, you know, y'all just getting a bit of our conversations. Sometimes we be talking about y'all, not just playing. But you know, you definitely need to check yourself. You know, what are you giving out? What are you emitting? And I know that, like, there was a Facebook post that somebody put out, and it said, you know, Lord, if I'm just attracting clowns, you know, let me change that to my profile picture. You know, and it could be that you're attracting clowns, you know, and so it's like, you know, you have to really, you know, do the shadow work. You have to look within yourself to figure out what's going on. So now, once we've done the shadow work, and this is where my mind, because I love love. I love the thought of having someone that I can count on. I love the fact that, or I love having someone that I can just, that I know is just there for me. You know, I love loving on people. So don't get me wrong on that. But this is what blows my mind. When you have these people who, you know, I've found my person, I'm gonna get married, and then you turn around and you cheat. I don't understand it, you know, and for me it's almost laughable. Story time. I had this guy that I used to talk to. This was years ago. Me and him used to talk. I think I was probably 20. I was in my 20s. And I had no clue that he was married. And I got a phone call. Oh, well, I found your number on, you know, our phone bill. Oh, okay. My response to her, I have nothing to say to you. I don't owe you any allegiance. I didn't know about you. None of that, right? Hang up. I tell her, you know, that's one thing, you don't have to worry about me again. So, you know, at the very least, you need to worry about him. Fast forward about 10, 15 years. You know, he hits me up. He's like, hey, you know, I'm going to be in town. I want to meet. Blase Skip, da-da-da-da. Great, cool. You know what I'm saying? We can meet. We never end up meeting that particular day. Or we actually never end up meeting at all. Because the very next day, I'm just scrolling on Facebook. And what do you know it? The nigga done proposed on the day that we were supposed to meet up. I said, what the? So you know what I did? So my petty, I laughed at it. I was appalled, and I was just like, I was taken aback. I said, not one time, but twice. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you literally had plans, and I didn't feel no type of way. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't, but it was just funny to me because I'm like, not once, but twice, you done sat here and you claim that you love somebody, but then you want to come and you want to meet up with somebody. Like that just doesn't, like, my inbox, it is I don't want to say full, but there's inboxes of guys that I've left on red that I know that you're married. So for me, that for me, my whole mindset upon marriage, all of that good stuff has totally changed. What do you guys think?
Definitely changed, just like you said. Oh my God, like the disrespect, the disrespect. I mean, even like the disrespect is crazy. So it's like, why are you married? If you are going to step out on your wife, if you are going to, flirt with other people, if you're not happy, if you're not attracted to the person that you're with, what are you doing?
And hold on, let me put that this disclaimer out. I do not mess with married men. Let me say that I do not mess with married men.
But they attempt.
I do. They attempt. But I do not do that. And it's raggedy and it's bogus. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But and then just it's the disrespect, like the audacity.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and of course you're not gonna bring nothing back to the wife, like, oh, y'all man doing this and because what good is that gonna do anyway? A lot of times they don't care, they don't do anything, whatever. And hey, what's done in the dark comes to the light anyway.
Always.
So
always.
I stand on that. But at the same time, it's just, I don't know. It's made me lose faith in marriage. It has. And like you said, I love loving on people, taking care of people, and just, oh, what do you need? But not if I'm gonna be disrespected.
Yeah,
like, if I go into a marriage and I stand before God and witnesses and people, and I'm like, listen, I'm pledging my life to this person. This person is promising to take care of me. I'm not. I just, it got to be real.
But that's the thing, though, because I'm pretty sure when that woman stood up in front of her family, in front of God, in front of the pastor and all of that good stuff, I'm pretty sure she thought it was real. You know what I'm saying? And in some situations, I'm pretty sure those men thought it was real. But then at some point they decided, hey, I want to get some pussy elsewhere. And let's just be honest, that's all that it boils down to. All it boils down to. That's all it boils down to. You in a 15-year-old marriage, and then but you inboxing somebody that, like, come on, man. That gives me no that gives me no hope. It gives me no respect. It gives me, because for somebody who loves love, and one day really wanted to be married, it right now I'm like, what the fuck for? They just gonna cheat on me, and then I'm gonna be in jail because I'll kill you.
Like, let it be known.
Hint our song for today. Right. I will kill. You know what I'm saying? Like, there will be some things that'll happen that's not nice.
And not to mention, like, we've seen those posts circulating where men are on camera, like, admitting that they don't like their wives and they just married them because, they checked the boxes and they were here.
Jay says, sheesh.
Like, sometimes it's a business move. It's not even.
Yeah. And you know what? And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Right now in this moment, I would not care if somebody said, let's get married for a business move. Let's get married for not financial, because honestly, there was a post in the group, and it said, what is one of the biggest lies, or what is one of what did it say?
What is one of the biggest scams?
Yeah, what is one of the biggest scams? And my first thought, without even thinking about it, was marriage. Now, again, this is from a person who loves love. When I'm growing up, I knew that I was gonna walk down the aisle to Luther Vandross. What's the song? That's Unc. I love him. But anyway, but I literally think it's a scam.
Man, you don't want my opinion.
I do. I want your opinion. Come on, bring it to me.
Being a woman that's already been married before, and at my age, I'm 37, and seeing how many women still want to be married, and seeing how many men still want to be married, the numbers have drastically dwindled. But because look at how much, like you said, you make this commitment, but then when that person doesn't follow through the commitment, it is a pain in the ass to get out. You should have to think of that. You shouldn't even have to think of that. Like if we get married, yes, I love you, but what if someday you change your mind and now I gotta go and spend all this money to be done with you? Like it's depressing.
right. You know, whereas we could we could
It's
just get
really
into
like,
it. We know we about to get a couple of LLCs. We about to get
yes.
this money. Hey, I you know, it is what it is. You know, we can live together, all the good shit. You know, you still not gonna cheat on me. You know, it for me, it well, let me not say that, because if we into it for financials, then you do what you gonna do. Do what you gonna do.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I don't even want to play with love like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to play with it like that, because I still know how I am. You know, I can get very possessive, and I feel like, you know, even in that, you know, we just married for financial or whatever the case may be, I'm still gonna be like, no, you're my husband.
Which they are.
Yeah.
So,
So would you ever get
That's a
married
tough
again?
I mean, I have no problem with it. I guess. Shit. Okay, how can I put this?
Come on.
So, two things. First, we have to actually have a discussion and come to an agreement on what love means to us.
Because it means different for everybody.
Right. And then secondly, just, this might sound harsh, but just historically speaking, marriage was never about love. It actually was a business contract. Princesses got married off to princes to merge kingdoms. You had fathers who married off their daughters a lot of time at a young ass age. People don't talk about that shit.
Absolutely.
We get the selective outrage for artists and shit today, but your grandmama might have been married at 14 to a 20-year-old motherfucker. We gotta
which is
Yep. Jay said for stability. For stability.
I mean, so we gotta understand what the fuck marriage really is. It was always, let's merge a business or a kingdom, or I'm a father, I got 27 motherfucking daughters. I ain't trying to feed all of them no more. Here, let's go find you a good man.
Right.
Here you go. He 21, had a job for 2 years. I understand you 15, but he could take care of you type shit. You know, so marriage never was like Disney got everybody fucked up.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm gonna just be real.
No,
like this princess ass mentality that Disney give a lot of people. It fucked up y'all expectations of what the fuck really going on.
Absolutely. And real quick, I said to my sister, I said to her, and we grew up in a very religious household. You know, my dad is a pastor, you know, PK. So, you know, and I said to her, I said, could you imagine the number one, the type of women that we could have been, and that's not to take away the type of woman that we are now, because I believe that we've both grown into some wonderful women. But could you imagine the type of women that we could have grown into, and could you imagine what we could have accomplished if it would have been pushed on us? And I'm saying marriage was necessarily pushed on us, but that was more so, you know, you find you a husband, you get married, you know, you're good, you know, instead of, no, baby, you can get you a husband, but at the same time, I would like for you to be able to be a successful woman as well. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't have that. You gotta have that frame. You gotta have that frame of reference.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be 40 next month. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about 2 generations from motherfuckers that came up here from the South for factory jobs. So if you think about how it went, you do get married. Like, I mean, just up until about what, 50, 60 years ago, your husband was your livelihood. So for a woman, it was, you find you a good man who can take care of you. They ain't say who's gonna love you, who's gonna treat you right.
Yeah, because
who was gonna talk sweet to you and not fuck off on you. It said who could take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of folk in their mind, I handle the
And they was
bills.
cheating
I
in,
take
by
it.
the way.
I mean, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, but I
That's why
mean,
the whole
been
family
cheating no
goes
matter what.
that's always been like I love the blues. So even with the blues, you will hear about the man fucking off, but then you'll also hear about Jody who was sneaking in the back door when the good man was going to work to provide for his woman. So it ain't like just niggas ain't always been shit. Ain't shit people ain't never been shit.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it's just across the board. It ain't about a man or he had a woman in another town. Okay, she was fucking the milkman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't this shit ain't new. It's just we didn't have social media and camera phones to blast people.
Yep. And this is one thing that I put on my list. I'd be right and I'd be thinking. I did put on my list. I said social media is one of the things that I think is detrimental to some relationships. Now I'm not.
You can handle you back in the day. You can handle your shit in the dark. Everybody didn't need to know what the fuck you was crying that night about when your kids went to sleep.
Absolutely.
But now everybody's statusing about it, tweeting about it, posting videos of themselves crying and shit. So it's like, and then they bring it to the public and then want the public to stay out of it and not give an opinion.
Right.
So it ain't social media. It's the fact that motherfuckers don't know how to sit down and shut up.
Right. Right. That's absolutely true. But then you have, and I meant in the sense of when you have people who are, they post their relationship and it's relationship goals, and so everybody's looking at that relationship online and simply looking at what's shown online because we don't know nothing else.
Right.
How many times have you seen these relationships online and then 6 months down the line, the woman kills the man or the man kills the woman? That's the reality, yeah. And it's like, we're so trying, everybody's so caught up in trying to keep this this look or this facade, as though I'm the perfect person. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I get possessive. I get a little bit clingy. I damn near want you to love me all over the second day. What you doing, sir? You don't love me yet? I'm a Pisces.
Oh, I'm a Scorp.
Yeah. And I'm,
I know
and
how you feel.
yeah, and I try, I try not to. They say, oh, the signs, blah, blah, blah. But I know that for me, I'm a pure Pisces, true and true. Like everything that they say about a Pisces, that's me. I will cuss you out and I will love you in the same breath.
Yep.
And don't mean no bad by it. But I think that we hurt ourselves by looking outward and looking at what we think a model relationship or relationship goals is. I don't want nothing that somebody else has.
And one thing I found too, the main relationships that you see like that, the main ones struggling.
Yeah, because they're the ones that are trying to prove.
They're trying to.
They have something to prove. Oh no, we good over here. No, you ain't.
Right.
No, you ain't. Because I just saw your man in the Milwaukee, Milwaukee Madison group. No, there's like a whole nother group that I'm in. Cause I be messy in my head. I like going down the rabbit holes. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I may be ruining myself.
Yeah.
But I do. I like going down the rabbit holes. Yeah. Cause I literally I'll wake up at 3:00 in the morning and I will get on Facebook and I'll see a post in that group and baby, it's on from there. I go to the group and I go sort and I do the newest post and then I scroll and then I say, oh shit, I know him. And then I scroll because that ain't my business. But y'all just said y'all was good though. But it's okay, But again, I probably should not do that.
I guess let me ask this part. What does that do for you to see that? Like what does it?
It does absolutely nothing.
But you dedicate time, energy, and your attention to it. So once you say it out loud, it does nothing for me.
Right.
That might help you release that shit to where it don't. I said it don't do nothing for me. What the fuck am I doing? Because a lot, like I said, like in my book, 12 Steps to Becoming Your Own Dope. For
Period.
the first
Plug.
right, yeah, I'm throwing it in the the first 4 steps is manage your attention because it affects your perception. Manage your perception because it affects your emotions. Manage your emotions because they affect your behavior. So when you give your attention to bullshit, like I mean, just and not saying that that's bullshit. I'm just saying,
it's bullshit because the shit I be seeing.
I'll let you.
said
I'll let
certified.
you come to that agreement. But and we all do it. We all fall victim to it, whether it's reality TV, whether it's
and that's what it is. It's like my reality TV.
but
fix.
even with that, the thing is, the media was never put to us to entertain us. The media was given to us to market to us.
I would say distract us.
It's to distract, market, and programming is marketing and ideology.
Right.
So they not always selling a product. A lot of times they selling the ideology that fuck us up.
Right.
Just like with the expectations I said Disney set. So when we constantly give our attention to bullshit, it pollutes our perception because I mean, shit, you can't walk around singing Drew Hill, somebody sleeping in my bed in a relationship and not get to wondering what the fuck going on when you gone. You can't listen to cheating in the next room while you in the relationship and get real quiet when she go to the bathroom to make sure you don't hear no thumb clicks or whispers.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely
what you repeat goes into your subconscious and your subconscious dictates your daily behavior.
I also think that has an impact too, like women, single women, and then women in relationships. Like imagine you're in a relationship, you hanging out with your single friends, their perception is going to be completely different than yours, and they're going to feed you way different advice and things like that.
And they might be coming from a position of trauma. Now all I see on Facebook, whether it's from a man or a woman, is men this or women that. And they all coming from a position of pain. And we all been there. Like I said, I was separated at fucking 26. At that time, I was preaching, teaching Sunday school, going to work, bringing my ass home, raising my kids, and loving my wife. So for a motherfucker like that to be left, it's like, what the fuck going on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it could have had me jaded. And thankfully it never did, because like y'all, I'm a fan of love. My name is Darrell. It means beloved. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Taurus. We Venetian. So we fuck with love. We Venus. So I love love. So I can't. I had to make up in my mind this shit here. You can't let tomorrow's what if rob you of today's joys.
Amen. Say that again.
So shit, I don't even remember what I said. I'm high. I'm high as motherfucker.
You can't let today's what if
tomorrow's what
if rob you of today's joy.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one. We dropping jewels tonight.
Everybody might cheat. Why the fuck you fucking up today worried about what they might do 10 years down the line?
Absolutely.
I had to make up in my mind, I'm going to love my lady just how I love. I'm not going, we try to dial down our love and shit. Oh, well, they might make me look a fool, so I ain't gonna do all this shit. So I'm gonna dial it down. No, love that motherfucker how you choose to love. And if they do some shit undeserving of that love, then you deal with it. Don't feel like, oh, I was a fool for loving this person. No, you loved according to how you love. And their infraction just robbed themselves of the access to your love. Don't feel like you stupid for giving that shit. They stupid for abusing it and losing access to it. So that's what I had to come to. Yeah, some shit might happen down the line. Shit, I might love them and they leave, cheat, or die. You know what I'm saying? I can't worry about that shit today. I'm gonna treat you right today, deal with tomorrow down the way.
And that's, and that's when Glenn died, that was one thing that I had to struggle with, because, I had people saying to me, oh, well, y'all was together for 5 years. Why y'all didn't get married? Even when he was alive, y'all together for so long. Why y'all don't live together? Y'all was together, and it was like, for a moment, I was sitting and I kind of regretted it. And I said, well, damn, I gave so much love to the man, and, we never got married. We didn't, we were just starting to talk about living, moving in with each other and, all of that good stuff. And then I had to come to the conclusion, like you just said, I don't take, because from me loving him, that was not for me. That was for him. How many times did that man say, nobody ever loved me the way that you love me? That was for him. That was not for me. So in at the end of the day, I just had to be glad that I was able to give that to him. I was able to love him in a way that, he never experienced before for whatever reason or the other, and still in, the situation that, I just had, yet did I love him? Yes, I did. And like I told him, I don't regret not one single thing that I did. Not one single thing. No, I don't regret any way that I loved you. But for me, it opened my eyes just a little bit more. I think every time you go into a situation and you get hurt, whether it be friendship, relationship, any type of pain, let's bringing it back to the top, or to the podcast title. Any type of pain that we go through, we have to be able to find some type of purpose in it, some type of growth. Okay, you know what, this happened in that situation, I'm probably not gonna do it that way, again. Or from this is what I learned from this, and this is how I can grow from this.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I guess I could just piggyback off, but that is the purpose of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, pain gets a bad rap because nobody wants to feel it,
Mm-hmm.
but the purpose of pain is to bring awareness.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just a sensory response of sensation. Your nerves is telling you some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And actually pain is meant to keep you alive in this body. We feel pain when something is dangerous happening to this body.
It's a survival mechanism.
Yeah, that's what it keeps us. Pain keeps us alive.
Absolutely.
When we was in the jungles, if we poked our foot, the pain let us know, hey, address this wound so we don't let no infection in this motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that is the purpose of pain, to bring a greater awareness. And with greater awareness come a greater understanding of where your whole beliefs change. Like, ain't nobody supposed to stay stagnant and the same. And that's where I fucked up. Like, just in religion, it kind of box you into staying a certain way. And it's just now my new beliefs that as your awareness grows, your beliefs should change. At one point in time, when I was preaching this shit, I thought tattoos was one of the worst things a woman could do to her body, or anybody could do to their body, because it was a lifelong evidence of a flawed decision type shit. When I thought it was flawed, but now through awareness and the understanding of the scripture a little bit better, shit, I got a whole sleeve down my shoulder, so your beliefs change as your awareness grows. And if you still alive, you should be growing. Otherwise, you stagnant and dying.
And you dying. Absolutely.
And that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, when you do choose someone, they need to understand that you won't be stagnant, and you will change.
And y'all gotta choose to either grow together or grow apart.
That's absolutely.
A relationship is dynamic and unique. So you can't set your relationship according to nobody else's. It ain't cookie cut like that.
That's right.
Like, I'm in all kind of different subcultures and groups to see how other relationships go. Like, I'm in the Black kink community. So there are Black people who don't mind going to naughty parties and swing and shit like that. That ain't just white people no more.
Right.
Where them at?
I mean, shit, if you follow me on Instagram, I can send you all the all the itineraries and shit like that. But
hey, I'm open-minded.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, as Black people in the community start shedding religion and starting to understand different pathways, more and more people actually are getting into like the kink culture and just anything else they were scared to get into, whether it was psychedelics, whether it was kink, whatever the fuck, there was a lot of restriction on us growing up because we had those beliefs. But like I said, as you shed those beliefs through awareness, it now allows you to explore other avenues and shit. So relationships ain't cookie cutter. There's people who go to that shit, but then also, they dynamic. It's not gonna be the same tomorrow as it was today.
Absolutely.
She might decide to start taking up art, and now you got to be okay. Am I cool with easels in the motherfucking living room? Like, you
can't
gotta
fit her all around and
you
shit.
Gotta decide that shit.
Right,
So
right.
you
You
just
know
got to be willing to grow together, or
Mhm.
understand that if you ain't growing together, you allowing them to grow apart.
Absolutely.
They gonna find somebody else that sipping paint and shit.
Right, right. And I think
Yep.
that is one of the things that is our big downfall too, is that we're unable to acknowledge and say, you know what, this is really not working for me, and I probably just need to walk away. I think that we need to master the art of walking away, and walking away not in the sense of I got drama with you, we broke up because you cheated on me. Like we oftentimes think that like that's the only reason why. Oh, I love you, so I'm just gonna stick with you forever and ever. But if you cheat on me, I'm gone. No, he cussed you out. He called you a bitch. He hit you. He did all of this other shit. He's an alcoholic. He's a drug addict. You know what I'm saying?
He done had a baby
He
on
done
you.
had a baby on you. He done gave you diseases and all of this other type of stuff. You know, we want to bypass, but then the cheating. And my sister said, could growing apart be the reason for some of the cheating situations? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Cheating ain't shit. Okay. Cheating ain't that ain't a one size fit all thing. It's like
Mhm.
a lot of times cheating is like in our community, we real good at attacking the symptoms instead of addressing the root cause.
Mhm.
Cheating is usually a symptom.
A symptom,
Is
right?
it so the thing is, if you want to stick around and help that person,
Mhm. Mhm.
now you can try to figure out what is the root cause.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of niggas. Shit. Okay. So, okay. I'm trying to see how to put it so I
I
ain't
done
know.
heard men say that they just wanted to see if they still had it.
Well, it's so many things. Okay. Because I don't want to tell too much.
Well,
But so, well, not me, 'cause I ain't never cheated, but I get people who, even though I don't fuck with cheaters,
Mhm.
as a man, I understand what drove other people to cheat.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
one thing could be, you got to understand, if the home environment isn't the most favorable,
Mhm. Mhm.
cheating might be just a result of this nigga going to some other bitch house for peace.
Mhm. Absolutely.
It's like, damn,
absolutely.
well, she listened to me cry. She made me a sandwich. I guess the least I can do is fuck her. Like, you know, so
Yep.
it's like,
Yep.
I mean, you know,
Yep.
he just wanted a place to where his kids wasn't crawling over him for 2 hours,
Mhm.
and his lady wasn't telling him what she want
Mhm.
after he
Mhm.
paid all the bills.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that might be one thing. Or some of it is an insecurity. You got to understand, for black men, like, I understand black women, you know, and we definitely need to protect y'all. But just as a man, I want y'all to understand that, like, shit, not to sound cocky, I'm a fly ass nigga.
Mhm.
But even me, society tell me I ain't shit because I'm a nigga.
Mhm.
So you got to understand, a lot of the average men who ain't got businesses, who can't make wine and do gardens and shit like that.
Mhm.
Like, I do fulfilling shit so I don't lose my mind to this
Right.
bullshit.
Right.
But the average nigga being told he ain't shit by everybody in the world.
Everybody.
Only time a nigga is being treated like a man is when he got a bitch climbing the walls in the bedroom. So sometimes a nigga just get addicted to that shit. It ain't the bitch, it's the sensation that he getting from having power, value, and control in that bedroom. So like I said, I ain't never did the shit, but I can understand
Right.
as a man.
Mhm.
So it ain't just like, oh, he's a horrible ass nigga because he cheated. What is the underlying symptom? Are you insecure, brother? Because what we don't talk about is a lot of times people get in relationships just so that they can have somebody to distract them from themselves.
Exactly.
And the inner issues they dealing with.
Mhm.
So if you dealing with that motherfucker, be it a man or a woman, it ain't shit you can do to stop them from cheating. Because it ain't you. Don't take the cheating personally.
Absolutely.
It ain't
Absolutely.
you. It's something with, okay, yes, they feel good when they're with you.
Mhm.
But when they ain't with you and can't get to you, they got that motherfucking junkie itch and they going with to whoever is fucking with them at the time or who's available.
Right.
Or
right.
there's other niggas who they can't fuck their lady the way they really want to fuck her and then respect her the next day.
Oh.
So they might have to fuck with somebody else that they can demean, devalue, or shit like that. Like, I knew people who fucked with like some scallywags and shit, but it's because they could debase them and, you know, some everybody has issues that they need to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So some people can't express their issues. Like sometimes I play a sex doula to people who need to.
Now. Hold on. Shit, how much time we got, Tom?
Sometimes I play a sex doula to people who need to talk because everybody can't talk to their significant other.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of women feel comfortable to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like when y'all was talking about men hollering at you and then posting family pictures, there's whole women with families and birthday pictures and shit that's like, hey, can I see you? It's like, no, darling, you know, shit, handle that shit. You know, I ain't that. I'm a Taurus. I want my own shit. I don't fuck with nobody else shit. You know, if that ended and I'm free, I might fuck with you. But otherwise, handle that shit. I don't want you. If you gonna fuck off with if you gonna fuck off on your nigga, you ain't a bitch I want to lay with anyway. So I mean, okay. But you know, we need to address the underlying hurt, and that's why I'm a mental health advocate. That's why I preach self-love and shadow work, because if we can get our mind right, we can then treat the people we fuck with right.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say another problem though too is all of the porn. Like it's porn everywhere, uninvited porn.
I like porn.
Hey, I'm not saying that, but that also, I believe, could put somebody in a position to want to cheat.
So
if you're seeking some shit, okay.
Yeah, if you're seeking some freaky kinky shit, and you ain't getting
but that's the thing though. And I think that when we get in relationships, we have expectations of our mate. If me and you are in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, and you tell me that there's something sexual that is going to satisfy you, and it may be something that I may not be necessarily just right off top, just gung-ho about. You know what I'm saying? I feel that it is your responsibility, because you are in a relationship with that person, to at least explore that option. Because again, that puts what he just said. I'm watching porn, so I'm watching whatever your kink is or whatever your search bar is on porn, because my woman won't do it. You know what I'm saying? And even won't even give a thought to it. So now I'm watching porn. Now my mind is wondering even more. So now I'm looking up these bitches and I'm like, I know it's some bitches in my city that's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna find some hoes that's gonna do it. And then boom.
But the sad thing is, it was somebody I know or knew, who they were in a situation like that. And they like, what he just don't know is I want to do that shit. If he just bring it to me, I want to be that nasty motherfucker for him.
Why wouldn't they say that to them?
Well, they did, but this ain't on her. This is on him. He can't do that to the woman he loved and then
look at it,
eat waffles and shit across the table.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand, well, because our society is so we're hypersexualized, but at the same time sexually repressed. We're told sex is wrong, sex is evil, sex is nasty, but it's on regular ass primetime shows now. You can see a booty or some shit.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You might not be able to see the full thing, but you see an ass on or simulated sex on regular primetime. So it does something to a lot of people in society that they have hypersexuality that they can't express because they feel. We were told sex is so wrong. Like I said, I was raised Church of God in Christ. So, you know, even married, sometimes you felt guilty for fucking. So it was like, you know,
and that's wild to me in itself. But that's we're gonna have a topic about religion. So that's a whole nother topic.
You know, but it's so like, even if you go on porn sites, like, it's to the point where sex is so taboo now that a lot of motherfuckers can't even enjoy sex unless it's taboo. Like, if you go to a porn site, the first two things you're gonna see on any welcome page is either infidelity or incest. Because now motherfuckers can't even get off unless they feel that it's wrong circumstances that led to the sex.
And that's to me, like you said, it's like, what the hell? You know,
it's because society's pushed sex in our face and tell us, don't we dare think about it.
Right.
I mean, just as a man, we're visual. We're visual. And what a lot of people don't understand is we communicate with our mouths, but we also communicate with our body language, our attire, whatever the fuck. So even like when I was going to college, I went to school as an art major. So even westernized makeup that women wear, right? So okay, so you got a little makeup on. So Western makeup is based off of white people. And white people wore makeup because in those times they were so sickly that their body didn't do what it was naturally supposed to do when aroused. So when a person with fairer skin is ready to have sex, well, when anybody ready to have sex, blood goes to closer to your skin surface because it knows that you're getting ready to be touched.
Yeah.
So it's preparing itself for the
sensation.
Yes, it's preparing you for the sensation of touch. So what that does to a person who's fair complexion, they get flushed or blushed. So when you putting blush on your cheeks, you simulating heightened sexual arousal of a white woman. When you getting ready to kiss, blood rushes to your lips, getting ready for that sensation. So when you put lipstick on, you simulating the appearance of a sexually aroused woman.
Right, because I am sexual.
You know, when you put on eyeshadow, again, blood goes to the surface of your skin. So the area around your eyes darken when there's more blood in your eyelids. So eyeshadow is simulating the arousal of a westernized woman. So you come out titties pushed up, face beat to the gods, and then why are these niggas trying to fuck me? Why they all thinking about sex? Because even though you're ignorant to it, you are still communicating on a fucking, I don't believe in evolution, but on the primal evolutionary level, you're communicating that you're ready to fuck. Your titties sitting up, arousal. Your lips is dark, arousal. Eyes is dark, arousal. Cheeks is red, arousal. But then it's these niggas just think about sex. But you don't realize that you're communicating sex and don't want the advances that calls for. So a lot of shit in our society is just miscommunication. We don't understand what the fuck we communicating for ourselves, so we don't know what we communicating to others, and that's where the crisscross and miscommunication
right. And I think, yeah, very interesting. And I think deep down, when we get to just thinking about the relationships, the lack thereof, the situationships that we allow ourselves to get involved in, I think that we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful, and probably even more so than before, just simply because everybody's going through something. It's everybody's going through something, and everybody has a thing. I guess everybody is everybody's scared. They don't want to get hurt again. They don't want to, they get caught up in that. And so those that love pure and, are really wanting that type of connection with somebody, you have to be careful, because you don't want to fall into the trap again of, being used and abused and, whatever the case may be. But I think that, I wish that everyone, at some point in their life, and I know you mentioned soulmates before, and I think that we have an idea of soulmates just being one person, or we have an idea of a soulmate just being in a romantic way. Your soulmate may not be someone who you are in a relationship with. It may be someone that you meet that's just your best friend. That may be your soulmate. That may be the person that you have that you can depend on, and things like that. But I think at the very least, I think that when we're talking about relationships, when we're wanting to even explore that with somebody, number one, I think, again, we have to be very careful. Number two, I think that we have to immediately put those boundaries out there. No matter what you decide to do, whether it be a relationship, full blown on situationship, no titles. I think that you have to make sure that you set those boundaries and that you don't stray from those boundaries. Meaning, if somebody does something that crosses that line, you have to be prepared to say no.
Yep.
I'm not going to take it, because then what happens is that you open the door to additional things. And you give a person an inch, they're gonna take a whole yard, or whatever the hell the shit say. uh, so you want to make sure that you stand on that boundaries, and it's okay to say no. One thing that I'll leave you with is that I myself am mastering the art of detachment. I am trying to. It's not easy. It's not easy. And when I say mastering the art of detachment, I'm somebody who, I want closure. I want to know why you did what you did. I want an explanation. But in every situation, we don't need an explanation. The explanation was actually the act that they did. It told you exactly how that person felt when they did what they did, especially if yourself, your intentions are pure. You can only move the way that you move. Like you said, love the way that you love. Don't be afraid to love the way that you love. And if it works, wonderful. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Any last words?
Oh, I was gonna say too, from a woman's perspective, I think earlier we were talking a little bit about when you're leaving a relationship. For women, we know well in advance when we ready to leave somebody, or when we're thinking about it, or we start to feel like this isn't gonna work anymore. But we'll hold on until we can't take it no more, and then we'll leave. But we'll get to the bottom of our emotions before we do that. That is something we need to work on too.
Absolutely.
Because I've done that. In my marriage, I waited till I just couldn't take it no more.
And that's what I said, it drives you crazy.
It got to the point where I started to see other men. And not just men, I saw women. I saw the beauty in everybody. And it wasn't him. It was everybody else. And I'm like, oh, that's a potential. That's a potential. That's a potential. And I'm so fucked up right now. Like dead ass. I started to feel that way. And I said, I need to get the hell out of here before not only do I hurt myself, I hurt him, I hurt my family. And I'm observing that this is turning into a resentment. And I think that's another thing. Resentment. I'm starting to regret that you are here and I am treating you as such. And that is not healthy.
No.
So, that's another big thing.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, well, I'll say, love yourself enough to wait on that one, to wait on that person that treats you well, that makes you happy, that's compatible. We shouldn't be so, desperate to jump into something just to feel anything, that we're compromising our own beliefs, our own self-worth. And, so that's important. Being single is not as, I don't know, whatever as people make it seem.
Yeah.
It's
not bad.
Enjoy it while you have it. And then when you're in a relationship, you'll appreciate, okay, I took this time to myself. I know that, okay, I took the time to myself, and I know that this person is real now because I wasn't just jumping with anybody. And,
right.
We bond. So that's important.
I definitely agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Last words.
Again, learn to love yourself. If you need any help, you can get my book, 12 Steps to Becoming Your Own Dope.
Period.
Available on Amazon. I don't know if y'all can see
that book
it.
up.
12 Steps to Becoming Your Own
Period.
Dope. Available on Amazon.
Yes.
And if you need help cultivating a life of gratitude, I also got my gratitude journal that I also got on Amazon. You can
next topic: abstinence and casual sex. I'm really interested in that conversation. Let me know when you do that.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna do that because because these legs be up. Okay, I am not. Well, that may be a topic, but I think that may be something to explore. I did go without sex for a nice amount of time.
I definitely want to hear about this.
But I wasn't happy about it, but right, it was something that needed to be done, but But anyway, but thank y'all so much for joining me today. This was fun. I absolutely loved it. We learned so much. It was some jewels that was dropped. Y'all definitely make sure I'm gonna tag each and every one of y'all. I'm gonna add you on Facebook. So I'm gonna tag each and every one of y'all to this. If you have not subscribed to Purpose Over Pain podcast, definitely make sure that you go to Android, iPhone. You can actually subscribe, and then you'll get notifications whenever we go. Not when we go live, but when the topic actually airs on the podcast itself. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace out.